time in Ottawa. It looked like it was going to be heartbreak for the Red Blacks. They had so many opportunities, missed two-point conversion, missed kick. They find a way, Jock.
Henry Burris, over 300 yards passing, no interceptions. Great redemption for him because the team needed him to step up, and he sure did. That place was rocking in Ottawa.
And the man he threw it to in the second half, Chris Williams, big game. He had some crucial drops that first half, but he was able to put it behind him and have a great second half.
Also, great game by the defensive backs for the Ottawa Red Blacks. Team win, great job.
All right, looking forward to the second half of our doubleheader from Vancouver. The Argos take on the BC Lions. Here's Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter.
On the heels of that overtime thriller in the nation's capital, welcome to Vancouver and a showdown of 2-1 teams. East meets West again. It's the Argos and Lions under the roof at BC Place.
Home sweet home for Lions quarterback Travis Lulay, who is 18-1 under the dome at BC Place. 5-2 career versus the Toronto Argonauts. On the other sideline, he is the top-rated quarterback in the CFL coming into this week's action. 3-1 as a starter, but it's his first start, Trevor Harris, here in BC Place against the Lions.
Scott Milanovich and the Argos come off the bye in their first loss of the year in Calgary. Last year, they ended an 11-game losing streak here at BC Place with a 40-23 victory. And on the other sidelines, Jeff Tedford looking for his third consecutive win after back-to-back victories over the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Road team won each of the meetings last year between these two clubs. Terrific first game in our Wendy's Friday night doubleheader, and this should be a good one too. Expecting a lot of offense as Ronnie Peffer kicks it off. It'll be Shaq Murray Lawrence, the Scarborough native, running against the Argos and getting hauled down quickly. So Travis Lulay, you mentioned 18-1 at BC Place Stadium 2 weeks ago, over 400 yards passing. Last week, 105 on the ground.
A career high for Travis Lulay, that 105 yards rushing against Saskatchewan at Mosaic Stadium. Trevor Harris, almost 300 yards in the last two games against the Riders. He's back and has that form from a couple of years ago. And the top lineman, much improved offensive line for BC, is Tommy Draham at left tackle.
Lions start at their 24. Lulay stands in, second read downfield, and broken up. Travis Hawkins there defensively. Pass intended for A.C. Leonard, who led the Lions last week with 4 catches and a pair of touchdowns.
Yeah, had a couple of touchdowns last week on push routes. There's the starters to watch defensively. Opla Ugo off the edge, still looking for his first sack of the season. Had 12 last year. Corey Greenwood really coming into his own, maybe the top defender for that Toronto defense, and all import secondary.
2nd and 10. Lulay steps up, dumps it off to Andrew Harris, and he is dropped at the 33. It'll be close to the first down. Looks like he's going to be less than a yard short. Harris 19 touches, 118 yards last week, including 94 on the ground.
Good reaction here from Andrew Harris. He's going to look for any blitzer first. Try and read. No blitzer. He can release, and Lulay drops it to him, but Jeff Tedford not in a gambling mood early.
3rd and a full yard, and so on comes Richie Leone. And Chad Owens drops deep. Leone off to a great start in his rookie year. Here's Owens, little crease, and after the 55-yard Leone punt, Owens returns it close to the Argo 35. So here's Trevor Harris, who leads the league in pass rating efficiency and touchdown passes.
Yeah, those 9 touchdown passes. Also been sacked more than any quarterback in the CFL coming into this week, and that hasn't seemed to bother him. 3-1 as a starter going back to last year. Just start number 5 for him, but his first chance to sort of overcome adversity. Gets his center back in Jeff Keeping. First start for him due to injury.
Argos 3rd in points, yards, and passing yards. And Harris Harris, a lot of misdirection. Brandon Whitaker is open for a first down and a cut back to the 50 before he's dropped by Solomon Elimimian.
Scott Milenovich said yesterday that they want to get the ball into the hands of Brandon Whitaker more often. He just hasn't had enough touches, 28 in 3 games this year, and to get him established early, whether it be the short passing game like on this play or trying to establish that run, can open up the deep ball later in the game.
Just 8 touches, 53 yards against Calgary. 15 on his first catch of this game and a first down up at the 50. Back into his hands, and Whitaker with a scamper to midfield has 5, and they want better first down production on the ground for the Argos.
The matchup will be Brandon Whitaker in that run game against 2 of the top linebackers in the CFL. Solomon Elimimian in the middle and Adam Bighill, 23 tackles, leads his team. Put TJ Lee in because 14 tackles for Lee at the halfback spot means one thing. He's getting picked on a little bit. See the matchup tonight against Toronto.
Bighill 3rd in the league in tackles, Elimimian 4th. 2nd and 5, another quick hitter, and the catch is made by Hazelton, who led the Argos last week. 6 catches, 98 yards, and there's another second down conversion catch and a flag down.
Yeah, late flag there. I'm not sure if there was some little bit of trash talking, but Hazelton, you take a look at this receiving core. They have a distinct height advantage.
After the play, objectionable conduct, Toronto, taunting, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So he got 11 and a first down. They'll mark it back 10, and Hazelton pleads his case.
Yeah, he got right in the face of Ronnie Yell after the catch. Talk about the mismatch. You get Torrey Gurley, Kevin Elliott, and Vidal Hazelton. You're almost at 6'4" across the board.
So at the line 54, it is a first down. And Harris looks like he changes the play with 4 receivers to the near side. Fakes to Whitaker, and Anthony Coombs has got it. And the University of Manitoba Bison product has another first down right in front of the guy he looks up to, Andrew Harris, another Winnipeg native.
Take a look at this receiving core across the board. That's one of the smaller guys in Anthony Coombs. He and Chad Owens are the little playmakers coming out of the backfield. Of course, Coombs playing for Andre Dury, getting more playing time. But you take a look at Kevin Elliott, Torrey Gurley, and Hazelton. You're at 6'3.5" against 5'10" across the board in the matchup for the Lions secondary. Pressure clearly on the secondary for BC tonight.
Another first down, double tight end formation. Harris will throw, and it's intercepted. Cord Parks has got it. And Trevor Harris has been picked off for the 3rd time this year. Fourth interception for the Lions. It snuffs a Argo drive in BC territory.
CC back in Vancouver.
That's fine.
Set up the matchup between Kevin Elliott and this secondary. Cord Parks 1. Toronto receivers nothing so far.
There's Harris straight ahead, and he'll pull his way to close to the 45.
Hazelton and Chad Owens going to run a little change motion here with Owens coming inside and Hazelton coming out and running his route on Cord Parks. But this is film study, folks, for Cord Parks to read this route, cut underneath it like this, not worrying that Elliott may go deep on the play. Cuts it under because he's seen the play on tape a few times.
8 for Harris, 2nd and 2, and he gets that and a lot more. And after watching Travis Lulay on the zone read last week, the Argos will have to be as wary of the quarterback as the star tailback.
Yeah, and the right side of that offensive line, Javon Olafioye, T-Dre player, they're going to open it up, and you got to establish your tailback if you want to run this zone read successfully. You got to get Andrew Harris running first. That's what they did last week in Saskatchewan. Worked perfectly.
Got 12 and BC into Argo territory. And the fly sweep to Shaq Murray Lawrence is cut down at midfield.
At 105 yards rushing was a career high for Travis Lulay. It was interesting talking to Jeff Tedford yesterday about it, and he said, you know, I don't think Saskatchewan defensively contained Lulay. He said, I think they didn't think he was going to run because of his health issues from the past, but he did early and often.
Didn't go into the game anticipating that. Here's 2nd and 12 and a big conversion. Courtney Taylor was quiet last week. Just 1 catch, 7 yards at Mosaic. Targeted only 3 times, but he has 20 on his first catch tonight.
Kirby Fabian and Tommy Draheim on that side of the offensive line open up a throwing lane here for Travis Lulay, and he can drop it right in there to Courtney Taylor.
Going to hurry up and going back up the middle to Andrew Harris for about 3.
Just look at one more time that previous play, the throwing lane right to that hole for Courtney Taylor. Steps up, no one in his face, and Courtney Taylor at his end of the route makes sure he settles down in the hole.
So 2nd and 7 at the Toronto 33.
An audible here.
4 receivers near side. Fake to Harris. They'll shovel it to Leonard. A.C. Leonard, the big hybrid tight end, has a first down.
You gotta like that play unless you're a DB playing against it. Get that little screen out there to a guy who's 6'2", 255. Now those DBs have to come up and try and make the tackle.
So first down for Leonard. They continue in the hurry up, and there's Leonard with another catch. Shrugged off the first contact. Tight end size, wide receiver speed, and he creates some mismatches.
Now this is Jeff Tedford as well. Early on, they go deep to A.C. Leonard. Don't hook up on the throw, but Leonard establishes right off the bat that he's going to take the Toronto secondary deep, and the last 2 catches are underneath.
Arsenault and Gore, the wide out, 2nd and 2. Back to Harris, and it's a BC first down. Down to the 10.
Boy, that play of this old line in BC has improved tenfold from a year ago. They lead the league coming into this week, only allowing 2 sacks in 3 games. And watch Andrew Harris just follow in there, take his time, find the block. They get good aggressive play down the field. TJ Player gets his kick out. Nice bubble for Harris to pick up good yards.
Including this drive, no sacks allowed in the last 33 BC Lion possessions. So it's 1st and 10. And Harris, misdirection, touchdown! An 11-yard touchdown run for Andrew Harris off the interception, and the Lions strike first.
Javon Olafioye is going to pull around from his right tackle spot and doesn't really have to block anybody. He's just going to escort Andrew Harris into the end zone. Big 63 pounding around that edge. Really doesn't have to block anybody. Well executed drive. Tremendous balance. A drive won by the O-line.
2nd touchdown of the year for Harris. Harris with 38 yards in the first quarter, 30 on that drive. And there is an injured Argo on the play. Try and get a number down there. We think it's 23, Travis Hawkins. But Argo's had some injuries in that. Or check that Vince Agnew, the safety.
Agnew and Travis Hawkins look like they may have collided back there on the play. And who is the injured player? Is it Hawkins?
Oh, it is Hawkins.
It is Hawkins. But I think he got tangled up here. There's Vincent Agnew, and over here is Travis Hawkins, and watch how they get tangled up. Agnew stepping up to try and get involved in the run, and they kind of collide like knee to knee.
So Hawkins makes his way to the sideline already without Brandon Underwood, Jermaine Gabriel, and Matt Black in that Argos secondary. Aggressive drive for the Lions, and they convert on 3 second downs to keep the touchdown march alive. Extra point from Leone, and the Lions lead 7-0 here in the opening quarter after a 9-play, 73-yard touchdown drive. Andrew Harris off to a good start tonight.
Nice balance in that drive, and one at the line of scrimmage. That offensive line for BC played very well in that drive.
47 yards for Harris so far on the night. Henry Josie on the return for the Argos. Up over the 30-yard line and still on his feet. Yards after contact and up to the 45, a 30-yard return. So the Argos get the football, see how they respond after the Andrew Harris 11-yard touchdown that puts BC on top. Overcast day, a little rain here on the West Coast. Argos came in a couple of nights ago, as they did last year, a formula that helped break that long losing streak on the West Coast. Little pitch to Whitaker, and Brandon Whitaker runs for a first down.
Let's go back to the touchdown for the BC Lions and Andrew Harris. A lot happening on the play. There's misdirection. Shaq Murray-Lawrence going this way, Andrew Harris going this way, and then a pulling tackle in Javon Olafioye, and it really freezes the Toronto Argonauts. There goes Shaq Murray-Lawrence to the right, Andrew Harris off left. You see right there is Javon Olafioye. Really doesn't have to block anybody because that play and misdirection froze the Argo defense.
Matchup of running backs that are bouncing back off injury, and a fake to Coombs, and that pass short hops incomplete, intended for Torrey Gurley.
Right out there where Court Parks is hanging out, and maybe that's what caught the eye of Trevor Harris on the throw, because he well short of the target there. But when you throw one pick, that creeps in.
Well, he threw an interception on his last pass in Calgary that ended the game. Jawan Simpson with the interception told us yesterday didn't have one, he had 2 nightmares about that interception. 2nd and 10. And Harris has thrown another. This time it's TJ Lee. So back-to-back interceptions. In fact, now 3 consecutive series that Trevor Harris has thrown picks. And the Lions get the football right back. BC with the lead, and now TJ Lee has his 2nd interception in as many weeks to give the ball back to the Lions offense.
Backs are right now responding to the challenge. Chad Owens is going to run on TJ Lee here. He's going to try and run the out, and watch the BC DB undercut this. Just like the Court Parks interception, he doesn't respect that Chad Owens is going deep at all. He reads his mail, undercuts it, and is right there to intercept the ball. And we've seen that. That was the same type of play Court Parks made earlier in this game, not respecting the deep route, undercuts the play. That's film work. They're running the routes for him right now.
So Harris had thrown 1 interception until the final series in Calgary. And now interceptions on the last 3 Argo offensive series.
A lot of talk yesterday about the matchup. Big receivers for the Argos against those BC DBs. They've responded so far.
Young BC DBs. Fake to Harris. Lule's got a lot of time, and he's got a receiver. Another catch for A.C. Leonard.
Well, Travis Hawkins is back in the game at halfback, and he's going to make the tackle on A.C. Leonard. But I've just been so impressed to start this game with the guys up front for BC. Tempo offense, good blocking, no one in the face of Travis Lulay. You give him that kind of time, he's going to pick apart this Argo defense.
Lulay, another quick hitter. Catch made by Austin Cauley. 23 for Leonard. And now Cauley down around the 25. Has 7.
Well, you said it off the top of the show that we could see some offense tonight because of the weapons out there. Guys like Chad Owens, Kevin Elliott, the Argo side of the ball, Austin Cauley, Manny Arsenault, who we haven't talked about just yet. Lots of weapons. Andrew Harris.
BC Creon's got to find a way to slow down this Lions offense. Out of the backfield, Andrew Harris got it. Touchdown. One on the ground, one through the air for number 33. Here in the opening quarter, it's a 25-yard Andrew Harris touchdown.
One of the best defenders for the Argos so far this season has been Corey Greenwood out of the linebacking core. Great against the run. Gets matched up one-on-one on Andrew Harris in a man-to-man situation. That's a matchup the Lions will go back to if they get it again. Andrew Harris so versatile. They get him out of the backfield and get the matchup they want.
One through the air 2 weeks ago against Saskatchewan. Last week, they did it on the ground. They're showing you their run and pass ability here in the opening quarter against Toronto. Leone the extra point, and now 14 points for the Lions off Argo turnovers in quarter number 1.
Well, they're going to release Andrew Harris on this touchdown throw. Starts out behind Lulay, and as he releases out here and then is going to run down, you're going to see Corey Greenwood get caught because he has to go underneath Manny Arsenault. So he's in the man-to-man matchup. He steps up. He's taking him out of the backfield. See, he has to loop under Manny Arsenault when he has to take that extra half a step. That gives Andrew Harris the edge. Now he's got separation and the ball thrown perfectly.
First receiving touchdown of the year for Harris. And Lulay now with 7 touchdown passes on the season. Argo's in a hole on the road here as Henry Josie fields it at his 8. And Josie out across the 30-yard line. Pascal Lochard with the special teams tackle for BC.
It's the first for Trevor Harris facing adversity coming off a loss. They had the bye week. You mentioned the couple of nightmares that he admitted to yesterday, saying, you know, he made some mistakes in the last game and now he's trying to bounce back, not only from the adversity in the bye week after the loss, but now a couple of throws that went to the wrong color jersey.